Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take complex information, things that matter to you, and really boil them down to the key insights, get you up to speed fast.
That's the goal. No overwhelm, just understanding.
And today, we're diving into something, well, probably familiar in some way to many of us. It's that simple task that somehow, goes sideways.
Happens to the best of us.
We're looking at the story of Ethan. He's a new program manager, super enthusiastic, ready to go.
Right. Eager to make his mark.
And his first big job, get product, ops, and customer success all aligned on a 90-day roadmap. I mean, talk about high stakes right out of the gate.
Absolutely. A real chance to shine, but also plenty of ways to stumble. And the material shows his first move. He's clearly comfortable with his tools, right? Says he lives in Outlook.
Yeah, huh? So what does he do?
Well, he creates this calendar invite, subject, critical do not miss, sets it for Friday, 2 p.m., books a room, throws in a kind of vague agenda, review Q2 KPIs, goals, dependencies.
Okay. Standard enough, maybe.
Sends it off. And you can almost hear him think, done. Time to lead. He's feeling pretty good about it. He's picturing this, productive alignment session.
And he didn't just phone it in, preparation-wise. He actually put in the effort. We're talking color-coded slides, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah, fully prepped. Even got fancy donuts, the kind with filling, maybe some gold flakes. Trying to impress.
Right, so he walks into the conference room, 1:59 p.m., feeling confident, totally ready for this big meeting.
And then?
Yeah.
Nothing. The clock hits 2:00 p.m. Room's empty.
Awkward.
Very. 2:05 p.m., still nobody. By 2:10 p.m., the janitor's kind of looking at him funny.
Oh, no. That's when the penny drops, isn't it?
Slowly, but yes. He checks the invite, looks at the attendees list, and he only invited himself. Seriously.
Attendees. Ethan. That's it. He forgot to add, anyone else. Even the donuts didn't get a formal invite, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big miss. And the consequences weren't slow in coming, were they? Not at all. Immediate fallout. That same afternoon, the VP of product emails the steering committee asking, where's the alignment? I thought there was a meeting.
And the response?
Basically, what alignment meeting? Just blunt. You can imagine Ethan's stomach dropping right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one mistake, forgetting to add attendees, it just starts to unravel things.
Completely. It creates this cascade effect. What comes next is a flurry of emails from Ethan, each subject line getting a bit more desperate.
Like what?
Starts with, oops, minor calendar glitch, then, new alignment meeting, let's regroup. And finally, you get the feeling he's pleading with, please read, yes, this one's real.
Oh, bless him. Trying to fix it.
Trying hard. He aims for the following Monday to reschedule, but nope. Key people are traveling, someone's on paternity leave, there's a product launch.
It's always the way, isn't it, once you miss the window?
Exactly. One stakeholder apparently just replied, new number, who dis? Though that might be slightly exaggerated for effect.
Maybe. But the point is, rescheduling wasn't simple.
Not at all. And because that meeting didn't happen, things really started to go off the rails. Roadmap presentations got fragmented, conflicting info started flying around.
Stakeholder alignment just collapsed.
Pretty much. The product VP is understandably not pleased. Then the CIO has to step in and just says, reschedule, with everyone, properly.
The hammer comes down.
And the real cost. This whole mess pushed that critical roadmap alignment back by 3 whole weeks.
3 weeks. Just from a calendar invite mistake.
Oh, where?
Okay, so let's really unpack this. Ethan's story, painful as it is actually a fantastic learning opportunity, especially through that PMP framework, the project management professional stuff.
It really is. He had the drive, but the execution, as you said, missed some core PM basics.
Right, so talking PMP, where's the first big fumble? I'm thinking stakeholder analysis.
Bingo. That's ground zero. He leaps straight to scheduling without the crucial step of figuring out who actually needed to be there.
Not just anyone, but the key decision makers, right?
Yeah.
The ones with influence.
Exactly. Who holds the power? Who has a high interest? You need to map that out before you book a room. It's not just about filling seats, it's about getting the right people engaged. He skipped that entirely.
Okay, so failing on stakeholder analysis. What's next in the PMP playbook that he missed?
Well, flowing directly from that is the schedule management plan. He just picked a time, Friday afternoon. Maybe it worked great for him.
But not necessarily for the VP of product on a different coast, or the ops lead who's always in back-to-back meetings.
Precisely. He didn't seem to consider stakeholder availability, constraints, time zones, anything beyond his own Outlook calendar. A proper plan involves proactively checking and coordinating.
It's more than just finding an empty slot. It's finding the right empty slot for everyone critical.
Yes. And that connects directly to the third piece, communication planning.
Okay. So just sending the invite wasn't enough.
For a critical do not miss meeting, absolutely not. There was no plan B, no follow-up to confirm attendance, no check to make sure people actually saw it and understood its importance.
Especially with VPs and key leads, you probably need more than just a calendar notification they might ignore.
You really do. Active confirmation is key. Ensuring they got the invite, they can make it, they understand the purpose. Basic communication hygiene for important meetings.
It's fascinating how linked these are. Miss the stakeholder analysis, and you're likely to mess up the scheduling and the communication confirms.
It's all interconnected. You need to know who before you figure out when and how to tell them. The source material also mentions other things like no clear meeting roles assigned, maybe no RCI matrix consulted. But those three are the big ones.
Stakeholder analysis, schedule management, communication planning, the trifecta of his initial failure.
Pretty much sums it up.
So for everyone listening, the big lesson here seems to be a meeting isn't just, a block on your Outlook. It's a real project milestone.
Exactly. Treat it like one. Assuming people will just magically align because you sent an invite, that's
Yeah.
opposite. Well, the material calls it project suicide. A bit dramatic maybe, but directionally correct.
It underlines the risk, yeah. So if a meeting's worth having, it's worth planning. That's a key takeaway.
Absolutely. Calendar invites don't create alignment. Discipline does. Project management discipline. Understanding stakeholders, planning the time, communicating effectively.
And look, we should probably acknowledge things like this happen, right? Even experienced PMs can slip up on meeting logistics.
Oh, for sure. The key isn't never making a mistake. It's how you recover and what you learn.
And Ethan did learn, didn't he?
Yeah.
The story has a positive turn.
It does. He apparently developed a really solid, foolproof scheduling process afterwards, even started helping colleagues avoid the same trap. And his next roadmap review, 6 months later, total success.
It's good to hear. You can bounce back. It's not career ending.
Definitely not. And this applies more broadly too, doesn't it? Every touch point, every meeting invite, every interaction, it's part of managing your project and your professional reputation.
It's about building trust. When you respect people's time with good planning,
Sate. They respect your leadership in return. It shows you're organized, thoughtful, and serious about making progress.
so the advice is, don't just wing it. Don't assume, put systems in place.
Build systems that prevent these fire drills, analyze your stakeholders, plan schedules carefully, communicate clearly, make space for the actual strategic work, not just cleaning up logistical messes.
It comes down to managing attention, really.
That's a great way to put it. You're not just managing time slots, you're managing people's focus. And attention, well, that's valuable currency. Treat it wisely.
Okay, powerful stuff.
Huh.
Now let's shift to our Your Turn segment. We want you, the listener, to think about this.
Right, apply these lessons.
Imagine this scenario. You're tasked with leading the kickoff meeting for a big global project. Stakeholders are spread across multiple time zones. Big challenge. The goal: align everyone on the project charter, set expectations.
Okay, so thinking about poor Ethan, what
Ah.
are the very first steps you take, specifically around making sure the right people from all those different time zones can actually be there?
And what PMP tools or documents might you lean on before you even draft that meeting invite? Stakeholder register, communication plan, power interest grid, maybe.
Good ones. And then how would you confirm people are actually coming? And maybe how do you ensure they've done any pre-reading needed for a charter review?
And maybe one more. What techniques could you use during that potentially tricky multi-time zone meeting to keep everyone engaged?
And finally, reflecting on Ethan's specific mistake, sending the invite only to himself, what's a one simple check you'll absolutely make sure you do?
Lots to chew on there. And maybe a final parting thought for everyone. Treat every important meeting like it's a mini project.
Plan it like one. You'll save yourself a lot of headaches.
Wise words. All right, that wraps up our deep dive for today.
So what's next?
Next up on the deep dive, we're looking into a situation where a promotion, meant to be a good thing, actually sparked a full-on team rebellion.
Ooh, interesting. Looking forward to that one.